Hello everyone, this is Witcher the Wizard, back again for your weekly Twin Flames, the Twin Within Energy Report for the week of October 21st through the 27th. Okay, getting right to it. I pull one card for the feminine energy inside all of us and one card for the masculine energy inside all of us. And what that does is it allows you to take a look at both your masculine and feminine energies, see where they're at for the week, and see what you kind of need to focus on in order to be your best self, right? In order to kind of make those changes you need in your life to be your best self, your most effective self. And also it kind of helps you map on where your masculine and feminine energies are in relation to each other and where they're going, and where you may need to like focus on one thing or another to heal or improve or just get around better. So the card for the feminine energy that I pulled is the Seven of Pentacles in reverse. The Seven of Pentacles in reverse. So the Seven of Pentacles is a card about, a lot of people say it's about harvest. But sevens are all about discernment. And so the Seven of Pentacles it's not just about harvest. It's about understanding that when you plant the seeds for something, they're not immediately ready for harvest. Right? You plant the seeds, you walk away, and you know when to come back for when it's time to harvest it. Right? That's the discernment part in it. Is that you have an understanding that you're going to plant the seeds, you're going to prepare the soil, you're going to plant the seeds, you're going to water it, and then you're going to go away and do something else, and you're going to know when to come back and when it's time to harvest that whatever it is. And in this case, the representation of it is a plant with pinnacles growing on it. But this is a metaphor for just anything in our life where, we've planted the seeds for something, and we have to walk away from it in order to let it grow and come back when it's ready. I mean, imagine if you planted the seeds for something and just stood there and watched it, waiting for it to grow. You would go crazy. You would literally go crazy. And yet that's what we do for so many things in our life. We plant the seeds for it, but we want it so much. We're so excited for it. We have such a strong desire for it in our lives that we don't give it time to grow. And we just sit there waiting for it to be ready. And meanwhile, the rest of our life is kind of passing us by, or things aren't getting done. And so not only are things in our life, important things in our life, not getting done because we're just so obsessively waiting for this thing to be ready, that important parts of our life aren't being taken care of. Right? This is kind of where we get obsessive. I know in the twin flame journey, there's a lot of people who are very obsessive about their relationships, and you're working on things, and it takes time. I mean, these anybody who considers themselves to be in a twin flame relationship should know that these relationships were brought into your life in order to help you work on some very deep psychological and spiritual issues in your life, so that you can heal them, so that you can I don't want to say be a better person, but I want to say be a more effective you. A more effective you. So every single one of us came into this world with sort of a preset pattern of what we wanted to accomplish. And what it means to be a better you is to be more capable of accomplishing the things that you came into this life to accomplish, that you chose to come into this life wanting to accomplish. So it's not a better you, it's just a more effective you. And along the way, we get all these things thrown at us, and it confuses the issue. We get drawn off track. And so my belief is that a twin flame relationship comes in to really hold that mirror up in front of your face in order to help facilitate you doing that deep core spiritual and psychological work on yourself, so that you can more quickly get back on track and be that effective you. Okay, so the Seven of Pentacles in reverse is saying that there's a lot of us out there, the feminine energy is all about receiving. Sometimes you plant that seed and you want it now. Right? There's an old saying that says a watched pot never boils. I'm talking about a pot of water. And if you put it on the stove and you watch it, of course it boils, but it just seems like it takes forever. However, if you put the pot on the stove and you go do a couple other chores, you come back and the water's boiling, and it seems like no time at all has passed. And that's generally how it works in life, with everything. I know that there's like this agony of anticipation. When you want something really badly, it just seems like it's never coming. It's never going to happen. And that's when you really need to really discipline yourself to go back to the other things in your life that need tending to. And I'm just going to admit that as a water sign, I got a lot of water in my chart. I'm personally terrible at this. I am absolutely terrible. When I am passionate about something, man, I can't stop thinking about it. And so that's where the discipline of having a daily to-do list is really good. And in fact, I encourage everyone. I know it sounds super boring and super American, a fucking to-do list. But every Sunday night, getting ready to do this now, I sit down and I go over my week and I say, what are the things that I need to accomplish? Where am I going to put these on my calendar? Because as a super duper water sign, if it's not in my calendar, it's probably not going to get done. It's just the way it is. But if it is in my calendar, then good chances that I'll get it done. Not every time, but most likely I'll go back and I'll look at it and say, oh yeah. And the nice thing about putting it in your calendar is you can also block off how long you think it's going to take for you to do that. As a matter of fact, almost all of the really successful people don't use a to-do list anymore. They stick it in their calendar and they say, well, I think it's going to take me 30 minutes to do this. And that way, if they need to move that particular item to another day, they know approximately how long it's going to take, and they can slot it around where they have time. Do I have 30 minutes on Tuesday? No. What about Wednesday? That sort of thing. So for the feminine energy, it's all about the discernment on, we've planted our seeds and we need to walk away. We need to let them do their thing, and we need to turn our attention back to the rest of our lives instead of standing there watching it grow. Get back, get focused on other things, and before you know it, it will be time to harvest. And in the meanwhile, you'll be taking care of your life, and it won't seem like such a long, drawn-out process. So that's the feminine energy. Let it go. Fire and forget. Plant those seeds. Walk away. For the masculine energy, what we got was the Four of Pentacles. A lot of people think the Four of Pentacles is about being stingy or greedy or miserly, holding onto your assets too tightly. I don't think so. To me, what this says is being frugal. So you're being frugal with your assets. So frugal is different than miserly in that frugality, the person knows how to use your resources wisely. And resources are basically just time and energy. So you take any resource at all, and you can break it down as time and energy. So what this card is saying is that pay close attention to how you are using your time and energy. What are you using that on? How are you spending it? Because that's really the only coin we have in this lifetime, is our time and our attention, right? What are we putting our attention on? What are we spending our energy on? How are we spending our time? We need to use that wisely. We don't want to use our time and energy frivolously, and then we also don't want to hang on to it too tightly. So that's the frugality is the balance of those two things, right? So pay attention to your time, energy, and attention. That's the masculine energy for the week. Okay, and for the oracle card, I got the magic stream, and as per usual, I'm going to go ahead and read that to you now. All right, magic stream. Everything is connected through the universal flow of consciousness. Every experience you have seems to have its own life story, with a beginning, a middle, and eventually an end. However, there is a danger in seeing events as separate from one another, since in fact they are all part of a continuity and a greater evolution. Like an ever-flowing magic stream, your experiences filter through the whole world, one leading into another, informing and influencing still more. Inspiration, invention, and revelations rarely come to just one person. The collective awareness is a shared storehouse of potential. When you remember you're part of the fluid continuity of life, you become a channel for great inspiration. Allow the magic to flow through you and carry your dreams into reality. Your success will benefit many. All right, so that basically, getting back to the two cards, which are talking about how are we spending our time and energy and focus. Are we being obsessive? Or are we connecting into that magic stream of consciousness that's going to allow us to move forward and manifest our true life's path, right? Well, that's it for the week. This is kind of short and simple, but sometimes that's the way it is. All right. If you like these videos, please like and subscribe. And in any event, I hope you have a great week, and I'll see you here next weekend. Take care. Bye-bye.